I'm Christopher, IRS certified acceptance agent, tax professional, a business owner running a company of all-in-one, all-year-round, local and outsourced tax payroll bookkeeping service solution here in the Valley. Today, we will talk about the guide to the 320 billion Paycheck Protection Program. But the best person and will serve as my co-host and our guest speaker today will be my in-house accountant because he is the one dealing with all the SBA agents, with all the lenders for our clients, and of course for our company as well. Our accountant is no other than Mr. Juan Turbiartes. Juan, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Chris. Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody's it's ready to have a great day. My name is Juan Turbiartes. I am an accountant, a tax professional, and a QuickBooks expert. Also, I've been dealing and helping with a lot of businesses. If they have any questions or need assistance filling out this application for the Paycheck Protection Program, we are here to help them and everybody else that has any questions.
All right, thank you. Juan, throughout the presentation, since you don't have your microphone, we would require just to talk a little louder so everybody could hear, okay?
Okay, sorry, yeah.
All right, so the guide to the 320 billion Paycheck Protection Program, this is a live chat, or our in-house accountant will answer the most frequently asked questions regarding the additional COVID-19 relief funding. But the top three questions that we're going to ask would be, number one, is the Paycheck Protection Program out of money? Number two, why is it taking so long to get the application approved? And number three, what is your option if ever your application got rejected? But before we go there, I just want to ask, I just want to give everybody our progress report of the company. There are more than 93% of our applicants already got approved and get their EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, together with the Paycheck Protection Program. And the remaining 7% are still in process. That is equivalent to more than 100,000 of approved loan, and the 3-day turnaround time is our performance track. We submitted it within 3 days because right now time is the most important asset that we have. Time is everything. Here in WYCOTAX, what we do is we clean your books and file your taxes on time and submit the necessary documents from your personal and financial statements, your payroll reports, the profit and loss, even your current tax return, because these are the heart. These are all the documents needed for any type of loans or grant that you are going to apply together with tax relief. WYCOTAX will fill out the application. You have an assigned account manager, and we will receive an email communication from your bankers or to your SBA agents, a carbon copy. And per request, we also provide computations for different relief. So for the, let's say, for example, you're still waiting for your EIDL or you're waiting for your PPP, what we are going to do, we will be more proactive on telling you these are the other available funds. Maybe you qualify for tax relief for your business, or maybe the city and the state level have their own programs to help you on your financials or finances. In other words, we will be your right hand. All you have to do, you have to take care of your customers while WYCOTAX will take care of your numbers. And just a reminder that this is a first come, first served basis application. So act now, you don't have to be left behind. If you're still uncertain to your COVID-19 relief, we are here to take a look on it and then give you a free 1-hour consultation what other options you can do. Just call us to our number 956-425-WYCO. And the success stories, we're not just more words, we deliver results. Go to our Facebook and all online platform that we have on our Google, and we have more than 707 positive reviews and recommendations. Therefore, this is a business owner. Her company, she's doing printing, Haven. And according to her, we going 2 years, she's our client for bookkeeping for going 2 years now. We're doing payroll, bookkeeping, and their taxes. Those are the most important financials or those important documents that you need to have on your business. It says that for the past 2 years, the onset of the COVID crisis, WYCOTAX took the initiative to call, yes, we call them, and for the SBA programs, because we already handling all the books. We were able to submit the EIDL and PP application, the PPP application promptly, and she received the PPP loan proceeds in 7 days and EIDL grant a few days later. WYCOTAX handled everything from submission of documents to coordination with the bank and following up on the status of the application. And as of this moment, our account manager, we are looking for other grants that is still available for the business. And this is one of our valued clients. So feel free to check their Facebook because your success is our business. And this is another one. We have a restaurant owner here in Harlingen, Texas. It's an Asian cuisine that our company has been an invaluable part of the business. From the setup of the business, payroll, bookkeeping for tax filing, we have been hands-on and making sure that we can give them the maximum tax savings. With the unprecedented pandemic, according to Mr. Dennis, that he struggled to take care of the business. So that is the reason why we will be your right hand. And because there are so many overwhelming legislations, overwhelming changes, what the problem is, more than it overwhelms the business owner, is our underwhelming sales. Our business experienced the problem, so we are all on the same boat. But we do our part. If we could help to process all the applications in faster and quicker time, we will do it. So the business owner would just have to focus on figuring out how to push his services or his products to his clients. Okay, so please check his restaurant. It's an Asian cuisine here in Harlingen, Texas. It's Pacific Island Market. We only don't cater for English. We are 93% Hispanic community here in RGV. Therefore, I'm the only one that don't speak pure fluent Spanish. Okay, so but all of our account managers, tax professionals, bookkeepers, and payroll experts are very fluent in Spanish. That is the reason why there is no reason for you not to go and ask our service. And then we also have Margot Raspas in Weslaco. This guy is very generous. We help them out. This is another business owner, Araceli Salinas. We don't have enough time to read all the reviews, but feel free to check their businesses and also our services and reviews. Before you call us or before you even get a code for us, please check our reviews because the integrity really matters because we're building a financial intimacy with you and with the company, WYCOTAX. Now, just a very quick reminder, for those of you that are listening and watching right now, we have a past webinars last month. And if you missed any of those webinars, feel free to check on the different topics. You can still watch it. On the new tax filing law, we have that on our YouTube. So just go to our YouTube and then type WYCOTAX and you would be able to watch the new tax filing law for 2020. Also, the Paycheck Protection Program, we cover that. Employee retention credit versus COVID-19 paid leave. The guide to SBA's economic injury disaster loans. Everything you need to know for debt relief and express bridge loan are all there. And how does the Texas Work Sharing Program works? All of those, you are welcome to watch that on your own time. Now, if you don't have time to watch those, you would like to read, it's also available on our website on www.wycotax.com, free PDF download summary. And if you don't want to read, you don't want to watch, that's fine. We totally understand. You can always text your name and we are here to call you after this presentation. Just text your name if you have more questions regarding the topic. Now, for next week, we have an upcoming Thursday live chat. This is how your business can survive through social capital. Just follow us on Facebook and you would see the event on our page. So this is, I will be joined by Mr. Michael Wilson. So This is our YouTube channel. Just type WYCOTAX, and also the free PDF. Go to our website WYCOTAX, and there's a free PDF. The company, just a short background, we established our company 2015 in Harlingen. Because we have a growing demand in Brownsville, we opened another office way back 2019, last year. We have a combined 20 years of experience, and WYCOTAX comes, of course, from my last name, WYCO, and of course, the tax as the main service. We also handle audits, and we are QuickBooks certified because we would like you to be worry-free, and we are here when you need us. The audit that we have been resolved with the IRS is more than $321,000 as of this date. Our publications get to our channel, watch us, channel 4, 5, newspaper, all the publications possible from Valley Business Report. We are all there on the SBA website. We're there. Okay. Disclaimer. Now, this material has been prepared for informational purposes only. It is not intended to provide and should not be relied on for tax, legal, or accounting advice. WYCOTAX is not associated with any institutions on this presentation and is a private business providing resources for small businesses. All right, let's get into it. Juan, is the Paycheck Protection Program, the second wave funding? I know there's a 320 billion. Is it running out of money?
Hello. Yes, right now, since the government has released this second wave of financial assistance for small businesses, it is running out. It's running low, but it is not gone yet. We have received word 24 hours ago that there are still millions of funds available. It is in a first come, first served basis. So we encourage everybody, if you need any assistance, we are here to help you to submit this application promptly so you have time and you have everything ready so you can receive this assistance for your business. But yes, it is running low, the funds.
Okay, thank you. Because to be accurate, the second wave funding, it was approved on April 23. Okay, so April 23 from May 5, that out of 320 billion, they already given out 175 billion, which is more than half of the 320. If I'm doing the math right, within 2 weeks, they exhausted the 175. So therefore, the remaining less than half, the $145 billion will only last on or before May 20. That is based on the computation, based on the funds and number of days that have been distributed. So on or before May 20, these funds will be gone, okay? So what we are waiting here, let's see if there are another third wave of funding, or maybe there will be another, what do you call this? Another source of business relief. It could be tax relief. It could be in the state level, city level. Who knows? Okay. Now, if the Paycheck Protection Program, have we experienced on this application, why is it taking so long to get the application approved?
Okay, so right now, as we have every business owner turn in the required documents, it is need to be revised and approved by SBA agents. Sometimes it can take longer than 5 days. It can take maybe 2 weeks, sometimes that we have experience, but it is given to SBA agents and they are trying to get all of these funds approved as quickly as possible. Why? Because there is money that is sitting down right now and it needs to be given out to small businesses. What we can do and what we have done is follow up any questions with the lenders right now. And we have, if they have any questions or are missing any documents, sometimes they may need 2019 and 2020, but that's why communication is key to having everything dispersed and the fastest time as possible.
Okay, thank you. What do you think is the main reason why applicants, the main reason why they get the funding really late or delays? What are the problems?
The main reason might be because Maybe the business owners fail to submit any quarterly and annual reports because this Paycheck Protection Program is mostly based on payroll of 2019 and sometimes 2020 if any additional information is needed. So that's why it is very important to have all of these um, IRS reports ready and have it on hand because it's going to be required to submit this. If they are missing any reports like such, then that's when it's gonna take a longer time. So yes, this quarterly and annual IRS payroll reports are the main reason why it is taking longer for a business owner to get these funds from the PPP.
Yes, and then the worst thing scenario, if they can get, they will get rejected. Can they apply with other lenders if they get rejected to the first bank?
Yes, you can always submit an application, but of course, all of these additional documents and the required documents that you may have missed the first time, then it is very important to have all of these reports ready. Why? Because it's you don't want to go through this a second time. There's going to be waves, even a bunch of applications that the lenders are receiving on a daily basis. And if you don't want to go back to the back of the line all over again. So it is very important to have all of these reports ready with you so we can submit all of this and have it right from the go.
That's true. That's actually true. It doesn't limit you because based on our personal, our company's experience, we have our own banker, correct? But what happened there? Because we got approved in not on our current bank, but on the other bank that we applied, right?
Yes, that's right. A lot of these banks have stopped accepting applications, and some of the banks, like the banks that we work with, they are accepting applications for customers that currently don't have an account. So that's one of the ways that we can go ahead and explore it and see which bank is going to accept each business, because each business, even though they have a business bank account, maybe that bank is not accepting any applications any longer. We do not know why such banks do this, but we do look into and see all of the banks that are taking applications for those that have an account with them and those that do not have an account with them. So they have been a lot of help for a lot of business owners so they can receive these funds that are still available.
Yes, and it doesn't limit them. Even you don't have an account with them, they can still help you and process. Okay, now when we attended the past webinars, and these are the most common questions, we're gonna dive into it because the problem right now, the way I see it, based on our experience as a tax professionals handling different businesses, the documents that you are going to submit will all be based on the type of business entity you have. If you're a sole proprietor, there are different type of documents. If you're an LLC, there are different set of documents for your paycheck, even the S corporation. And that is why one of the questions that they have for self-employed individuals, because self-employed, they're not paying themselves. They just receive whatever the remaining amount of money at the end of the year. What is the main document that they have to submit in able to prove that they will qualify for the Paycheck Protection Program?
Okay, so let's dive into this. As a sole proprietor, when one submits this application to the SBA, the number one report that the SBA is gonna want or they're gonna need to look into is your most recent tax return, profit or loss statement, Schedule C. And what this is gonna show them is on a line, it's gonna let them know the net profit of the business. This net profit of the business is what the SBA is going to base the funds about. So let's say that a sole proprietor has net profit of 10,000 after all of the expenses, all of the deductions that the IRS allows, and that's what the IRS is going to look into whenever they determine the amount of loan that they want to disperse or they want to give to the sole proprietor. So this report, the Schedule C report on the most recent tax return is the one that the SBA is gonna need from the very beginning. So it is very important, a sole proprietor, to be up to date on income tax filings. Why? Because if he is not, then that's the first thing that the SBA agent and the lender are going to be looking into.
Yes, enable for to make it easier to understand, when you are a sole proprietor, what we were trying to say here is at the end of the year, what is your take-home money? Okay, on that take-home money, that is will be taxed as SE, or the self-employment tax, and that will be the basis of your paycheck. The Paycheck Protection Program will base and look on your Schedule C. If you are doing if you are a freelancer, you're a caterer and you're running your business at home by yourself, it all matters, and it all boils down into that. If you are a rental property, they will base it, or rental business, they will base it on your Schedule E. Those are what the income. And that's the reason why when you are keep reporting zero income every year, then therefore there are no basis for paycheck. Correct?
Yes, that's correct. So the basis is the take home money. I know that one wants to not pay any taxes. So there's always like a good and a bad. The bad of paying no taxes for self employment is that if you need any loans or like this, an SBA loan application, that's what they're going to base it off into. So we want to report, if you have a net income report, we want to report this net income, so they can go off this basis of money that you're taking home. So there's actually available funds that the SBA agent is going to want to loan you.
Yes, and how much percentage should be the fund be allocated when you apply for the loan? How much it should be used for?
So right now the SBA, they're basing this off. So they're going by monthly average of the payroll. So let's say that on the sole proprietor, they have a net profit of 12,000. The average income of the whole 12,000 would be 1,000 for the monthly average. So they're basing this off 2.5 of the monthly average. So if we're gonna do this, it's pretty much 2 months and a half of payroll that they're gonna be wanting to loan you. In that case, then the sole proprietor is gonna be applicable to receive a loan of 2,500 for the PPP. That's how the SBA is basing off their funds for this PPP so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And just a reminder, for the calculation of payroll cost, the payroll costs are calculated on gross basis without regard to federal taxes imposed or withheld, including FICA and Medicare. Payroll costs are not reduced by taxes imposed on an employee and are not increased by the employer's share of payroll tax, which means to say, even the FICA, your contribution as an employer for your employees' social security and Medicare wages, they are all included in the computation. As long as the individual employee will not excess the annual salary of $100,000. Now, for the payments of independent contractors, because one of the frequently asked questions that I've been attending with all the webinars, there is a business owner, what he was saying, I'm paying a subcontractor, a construction company that he has subcontractors. The question is, are they going to be part of the payroll application for the PPP?
Okay, yes, that is also a very frequently asked question. Right now, self-contractors of a business, if a business pays self-contractors for any labor, anything, any work that they have to do, this this pay to the self-contractor is not going to be included in this Paycheck Protection Program calculations and the loan. So anything that you pay the self-contractor is not considered a payroll expense. Payments to self-contractors are considered either repairs, either maintenance, or other expenses for the business, but not necessarily payroll expense. For a business to have payroll expense, they do have to have actually employees that do work in the business, and these employees, all the payroll, all the taxes withheld have to be reported to the payroll report quarterly, the 941, or the year end also. So no, self-contractors are not considered any employees, and therefore do not contribute to the payroll expenses of a business when it tries to apply for all of this SBA paycheck protection.
Yes, very well said. For our listeners out there, just a reminder that there is a big misconception like, oh, I have part-time employees. And then when we talked about, do you have their W-2s? Let's say, oh, no, I don't have W-2s because I'm giving them 1099s. So in other words, if we're going to base on the code of the IRS clearly says you need to control, if you're controlling the tools, time, or training, the 3 T's, okay? This is just the basic. The time, tools, and training, if you're controlling any of those, that independent contractor or subcontractor might fall under employees. But it's been a tradition here in the RGV to pay independent contractor 1099. So that's why when you keep treating them like that, all the expenses that you're paying them will no longer be part on the PPP calculation, because it clearly stated there that the Paycheck Protection Program, 75% should be used for keeping your employees and retaining your employees. And when we say employees, they are the ones that are receiving W-2 at the end of the year. So other than that, 1099s, they are not going to help you to make your loan higher, okay? But on the other side of the fence, the people that receive the 1099, let's say Juan, a subcontractor, he repaired the office, and then I gave him $10,000. Him as a subcontractor, can he apply on his own for this program?
Yes, Christopher, the subcontractor can apply on his own for this program. The SBA, what they're going to look into again is that take-home money when the subcontractor reports their latest income tax. In 2019, if they have take-home money of 10,000 on that example, then that's what they're going to base their application on. 2.5 of a monthly average. So the subcontractor can, and he should actually submit this application, but the business that's paying that subcontractor, they cannot include these expenses on their application.
That's correct. Now, we have some businesses that are limited liability companies. Okay, just to give you an idea, the basic 101 of business entity, a limited liability company has different tax treatments: a sole proprietor, an S corporation, or business partnership. Now, if I'm the owner of my company and I put myself on payroll, which means to say I'm receiving W-2, can my payroll cost be included on the PPP?
Yes, Christopher. When a business has an employee, all the expenses for payroll for every employee is considered being part of this calculation to have this payroll expense for the whole year. So any employee that they have, either it is the actual owner, any other employees, they're all considered part of the payroll expense. Of course, as long as they don't go over the cap of 100,000 that the SBA does have. But yes, every employee can be included in the calculation for this payroll expense.
Yes, that's the reason why when you are a limited liability company, you can only put yourself on payroll when you are an S Corp elected, okay? You are not allowed to put yourself on payroll if you are a sole proprietor. That's the reason why you start with your company as a limited liability company, because I'm telling you, this will go in a long run, okay? It will help you more than what you can imagine, specifically right now. And that is the reason why when your business is growing, you cannot stay on the same business structure. If you started as a sole proprietor, after 2 years, you cannot always be on that structure, because the taxes will not be in favor of you. You will still subject to the highest amount of taxes. So that's why business and tax planning all comes into play, specifically with the situation that we are having right now. Now, the next other question that I've heard is, what is allowable? What are the acceptable uses of the PPP funds?
Okay, so right now, 75% of the full funds from the PPP, if they're going to be forgiven, 75% of those have to be used for payroll expense so that you can keep on paying your employees. The other 25% can be used for the business's utilities. And the SBA has given a broad explanation for this utilities. It can be used as rent, lease rent for the building or the office. It can also be used for any electricity, any water bills, telephones, internet, maybe even equipment rent. The definition for utilities for a business, as for the IRS regulations and rules, it is anything that is ordinary and necessary for the business to continue operating. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be a utility bill from the PUB, but it can be anything that the business needs to operate the business, anything that they have been needing to make expenses throughout the year, that's what can be included on this 25% of the PPP.
Yes, that's a good point. Like on the IRS code, like what we are saying is, when you're applying for the loan, your lender will serve as a catcher. Okay, like if you're playing a baseball game, there's always a catcher and pitcher role. Your lender, since there are more on loan processing the technicality of application, they don't expect them that they will be well rounded in terms of the regulations, because the CARES Act is a combination of the existing rules from the Internal Revenue Service, from the Federal Labor Standards Act, what is employee, what is not an employee, what is a part-time or full-time employee, and also with the Department of Labor. So therefore, don't expect 100% that they will answer all your questions. What you can do, you need to have somebody that is a tax expert, that have been doing a payroll for so many years, and also bookkeeping, have basic knowledge on determining and identifying all these terms that on the CARES Act. And that is the reason why it taking so long for your funds to be approved, because there is no fine line. Like if you do it on your own, you submitted whatever you have and you don't even know that they're not allowed, right? So that is why it takes time and your lender has to move forward. It's like nobody's benefiting on that situation of the DI, like the do it yourself. That is the reason there's no harm of asking questions aside from your lender, aside from your SBA. Ask tax professionals, because they are been there, been expert, and handle different audits for so many years. And we also handle audits in terms of the state level. Therefore, we are following what the IRS says, what the payroll Department of Labor, the FLSA, and apply it to the rule of CARES Act. Correct?
Yes, that's correct. So there's no fine line on what the utilities is going to be based on. So yes, you would need somebody with experience that has done this for many years, so they can guide you and assist you through the process, not only applying, but for the after that, after the funds have been dispersed for the next 8 weeks, so everything can be submitted on time and you're eligible for your loan to be fully forgiven 100%. So it is very important to have that right hand that has the knowledge of these IRS codes and this SBA requirements.
Yes, and it doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt to ask for that advice to make this smooth sailing rather than a trial and error approach. Okay, now that those are all the basic questions that we have. We will give you an update for more. But before we go there, there is, just to give you an idea about what are the allocation of the funding. This is where we are right now, okay? So view. Okay. This is the diagram. The visualization of CARES Act that have been passed for the first wave is a 2.3 trillion dollar. Okay, and then together with that added the 480 close to 500 billion dollar. So these are the allocation of funds that we are referring, that we're talking about this the loans of 875 billion, and together with the EIDL, the 230 billion. These are all what we are referring at this point, and this amount right now is being distributed from large businesses to small businesses. Now, the 230 billion, I don't give high hopes with that. It's just, it's already gone. For me, it's already gone, and they trying to narrow it down with agricultures. The other consideration that you have to look at for business owners out there that are still waiting for this PPP and EIDL is to take a look on tax breaks. Okay, take a look on tax breaks, because I'm sure there are still so much fundings on this area where you were not able to utilize. Okay, that's why we were saying what you do not know might be your greatest liability, but what you do know would be your greatest asset. But what other people knows, that would be your greatest ally. Okay, so that's why take a look in a bigger perspective. This is a 2.3 trillion funds as a startup or initial, but it goes more than that so far. And even the state level, there are also other funding programs like the shared work program that's available to the state. Take a look in that. And the city level, specifically Harlingen and Brownsville, the economic development corporations have different funding programs that are available for business owners like us. All right, so that would be all. Thank you for watching on our Thursday live chat. Just to give a quick recall that we are always going to give you an updates. Just subscribe on our YouTube channel. Every other day we're giving tips and tricks for how to improve your business in terms of the funding. And all the past webinars, just go on our WYCOTAX channel on YouTube. The new tax filing laws are there. You could watch it, the Paycheck Protection Program, the Employee Retention Credit, even the COVID-19 paid leave, the guide to EIDL SBA, and everything you need to know. Please take a look on debt relief and express bridge loan. That's another option. And also the sharing work program of Texas. If you don't have the time to watch, please feel free to download the PDF download summary on our website, and we are here to help. For any questions, just call us or text us on our number at 956-425-WICO. Now, on next Thursday live chat, we will go over on how your business can survive through social capital. There's not only one capital right now. You need to not just the money, but you need to sort out with more people, because your net worth will be based on your network. I will be co-hosting. I will be joined by Mr. Michael Wilson. There you go. So thank you for watching our Why Coffee Break. Let me see if we have some questions on YouTube. All right. So for those of you that doesn't have more questions, or you were not able to watch this, just always follow us on our YouTube. Therefore, thank you for watching. And for those questions that have not been answered, we will go back to you. We'll respond to your email, or we might call you. Okay. So Juan, thank you for your time. And I know you have a lot of things to do with your clients. And this presentation really meant a lot and gives more value for our clients out there. Okay.
Yes, not a problem. Thank you for having me, and I hope everybody has a great day.
All right. Goodbye, guys. Stay safe.